Zinedine Zidane would prefer Manchester United move over Bayern Munich. Former Real Madrid manager Zinedine Zidane favours a move to Manchester United over Bayern Munich and is biding his time over making a decision. The Frenchman has emerged as the frontrunner to replace Thomas Tuchel at the Allianz Arena. That comes after first choice, Xabi Alonso, confirmed he will remain at Bayer Leverkusen next season. Second choice, Julian Nagelsmann, then signed an extension with the German national team until 2026. That leaves few options in a crowded market, and Zidane, who has been out of the game since leaving Madrid in 2021, is a man in demand. The Frenchman won 3 consecutive Champions League titles during his first stint at the Bernabeu and has raised doubts in the past about managing outside of France, Spain or Italy, as he does not speak English or German. But reports in Spain on Friday claimed Zidane was one step away from agreeing a deal to join Bayern this summer, with the Bayern board in agreement that he is the best remaining candidate. Zidane, though, is said to have major reservations over a move to Bavaria, according to L'Equipe. The Frenchman is not keen on moving to the area, has a poor grasp of German and is not interested in the Bundesliga. Instead, Zidane is keeping a close eye on Erik ten Hag's position at Manchester United, as his grasp of English is better and he feels the Premier League is the best league in the world. United's board are delaying a decision over ten Hag's future. The Dutchman has a year left on his deal, but United are set to miss out on Champions League qualification. United face Coventry in the FA Cup semi-finals on Sunday. Erik ten Hag's position at Old Trafford is believed to be under threat due to an inconsistent season. The Dutchman could leave the club at the end of the season, with the Frenchman seen as a potential replacement. French outlet L'Equipe report that a deal that would see Zidane replace Thomas Tuchel at Bayern Munich at the end of the season is close. However, a number of hurdles need to be sorted before an appointment is sealed. A huge hurdle, according to the report, is that Zidane, 51, would prefer to take on the manager role at Manchester United. It is also claimed that the language barrier between Zidane and the Germans, as well as life in Bavaria, are major obstacles. Bayern remain extremely keen on hiring the former Real Madrid boss, with Tuchel confirmed to be leaving in the summer. Zidane is said to respect Bayern and appreciates that a move to the Allianz Arena could provide him the opportunity to challenge for titles immediately. This may not be the case at the Red Devils, who have been well off the pace of the Premier League's title challenges this season. GFFN have added that Ineos, who own 25% of Manchester United and head up football operations with Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the helm, are keen on hiring Zidane as part of a new era at the club. The report claims that a language barrier would also be an issue for the manager in England, however it would be less severe than in Germany. Should Zidane make the move to Man United, then Bayern could turn to Ralf Rangnick to take over at the Allianz Arena. Zidane has previously managed Real Madrid over 2 successful spells. During his tenure, he led the club to 2 La Liga titles and 3 Champions League triumphs. He has been out of club management since leaving the Spanish Giants in 2021. Former Brighton and Hove Albion and Chelsea manager Graham Potter has also been linked with Man United. Club legend Dwight York, however, would prefer Zidane to take over and believes that Potter would be eaten alive. Man United have also been tipped with an interest in Bologna's Thiago Motta. The Italian made waves in the football coaching scene when he announced his philosophy to be a 2-7-2. Ratcliffe won't ignore the elephant in the room with Zinedine Zidane and Manchester United links. Zinedine Zidane has been linked with the Man United job over the last few years, and fresh reports emerged this week. Death, taxes and reports linking Zinedine Zidane with the Manchester United job. Those are 3 constants in life, and perhaps links suggesting Zidane could take over the reins at Old Trafford will only go away when he announces his not returning to management. From Zidane's perspective, there is no need to make such an announcement, which means reports linking him with the United job might even rumble on into the year 2056. The Frenchman has been repeatedly linked with United since he departed Real Madrid in the summer of 2021, but there has been no indication he will coach again. Zidane became the first coach to win the Champions League 3 times in a row during his time managing Los Blancos, and his reputation has remained untouched. There's no doubt Zidane's name carries weight and he's a character befitting of a United manager. However, he's been out of the game for years, and that's without mentioning his time in charge of Real Madrid, which saw him deliver unprecedented success, was essentially babysitting. From Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, and Toni Kroos, it's obvious Zidane had world-class players at his disposal, and his remit was to manage egos. How much tactical acumen Zidane possesses as a manager is debatable. He was a magical player, and it would objectively be a risk to appoint him as United manager. In his second stint as Madrid boss, Zidane went trophyless in his final season, and the Spanish Giants are still the only club he's ever managed since hanging up his boots. He was touted to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in 2021, but that didn't happen, and he later claimed his inability to speak English would prevent him from moving to the Premier League. Would I want to go to Manchester United? I understand English, but I'm not completely fluent in it, an honest Zidane said about a possible move in summer 2022. I know that there are coaches who go to clubs without speaking the language, but I work in a different way. Many elements come into play in order to win. It is a global context. I know what I need to win. Although there's been enough time for Zidane to improve his English, the elephant in the room is he would be too much of a risky candidate to succeed Erik ten Hag. An appointment of Zidane as United manager has obvious potential to backfire, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is bound to make risk-averse decisions in his first summer as co-owner. Ratcliffe is a man in a hurry. He wants success as quickly as possible and simply can't afford to make mistakes with crucial appointments. Ten Hag's future has been a topic of discussion all season, and if the Dutchman is relieved of his duties, deciding who succeeds him could shape the next decade. The appointment of the wrong manager could lead to another sacking a few years down the line, and that would bring the Ratcliffe project back to square one. Zidane is a glamorous name, but he'd be a gamble. United cannot afford to gamble. Jadon Sancho transfer state of play, Man United contract length, wage, Erik ten Hag verdict. Jadon Sancho has made quite the impact since returning to Borussia Dortmund in January. Jadon Sancho may be out of sight at Manchester United after joining Borussia Dortmund on loan in January, but the winger certainly isn't out of mind after helping the Bundesliga side qualify for the semi-finals of the Champions League earlier this week. The 24-year-old, who returned to Dortmund after falling out of favour under Erik ten Hag, started both legs of the Bundesliga side's 5-4 aggregate win over Atletico Madrid. It is the furthest Dortmund have progressed in the competition since reaching the 2013 final against Bayern Munich. For Sancho, it has been quite the turnaround since rejoining the Bundesliga side in January, having found himself exiled at Old Trafford from August onwards after a public falling out with ten Hag. On Friday, ahead of United's FA Cup semi-final with Coventry City, ten Hag revealed that he watched Sancho's performance in Tuesday's quarter-final win against Atletico closely and was impressed with his contribution. Speaking in his pre-match press conference, ten Hag said, "It was a fantastic game, Dortmund against Atletico Madrid. Great performance from Dortmund, and for Jadon it's good news, he made his contribution to the result for Dortmund. No, nothing has changed about his future, but we know Jadon Sancho is a fantastic football player, so that is not a surprise for us. That is not the issue." The 24-year-old, who cost £73 million in 2021 after a long-running transfer saga, has struggled to ever get his career at Old Trafford going in the 2.5 seasons before his return to Dortmund. In total, he has played 82 games for the Reds under 4 different managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, Ralf Rangnick and ten Hag, but failed to establish himself as an ever-present under those tasked with returning United to its former glories. Despite the success of his return, Dortmund have played down their chances of signing Sancho permanently due to the finances that would likely be involved in any deal for the 24-year-old, who is reported to be earning close to £300,000 on his contract, valid until 2026, at Old Trafford.